Okay, guys, as you can see, what we've got going on up here. Welcome, it's Paint with Josh. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'm going to show you the colors we're going to use and the process that we're going to use in order to get all of our paint to light up. You can sort of see we've got some blue, we've got some of our phthalo green, it's our turquoise area. We got a little bit of our phthalo blue down in here, and then our dioxazine purple here and here. Got a little bit of our phthalo green, and then our purple. And you'll see it when we go to ignite these colors. So the very first thing you got to do is check in. Tell me where you're watching from. And what time is it where you are right now? I'm gonna get out here and pop in just a little, sort of a weird little shape. Right? That's all you got to do. Weird little, odd little shape, and then we'll come up here and we'll mix it out. The more that we mix it out, the more it's going to get softer and become more of an aura of around something, maybe our little moon out there in the night. Just a little moon out there, right? We'll grab our filbert brush. Now the filbert brush is the brush that looks like your fingertip, right? And you can even use your fingertip if you wanted. Well, we'll get out here, we'll plop it on, and then we'll spin our brush around in a little circle and keep it in the center. You guys know if you've tried this before and you move it from that center area, it tends to get a little wonky, right? Just like that. Soft little things out here in the night, you guys. Now, where are you watching from out there? Oh, I like it. I like it. All right, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna hold the brush like a pencil, just like this. And then we're gonna come out here from sort of below our moon and then just scrubbing it side to side, getting a little bit bigger, a little bit wider as you come this way. That's all you really need to do, right? Turn our brush over. See how it's turned all that color real dark like, right? So we'll push on a little bit harder and extend it into the night, okay? Now, let's take our 1-inch brush. Right, just soft little 1-inch brush out there. Same brush we were using to do our moon. Don't hit the moon, Josh. My goodness. Right, start mixing it down with little, either clockwise or counterclockwise strokes. And you start mixing stuff up. And the more you mix it, the more it starts looking like a little cloud out there in the night, you guys. In the night. Who else says that? Just on the regular. Are you saying that all the time? Because I tend to find myself saying it, even when I'm not live. There we go. Let's take and wash off our little fan brush so it's nice and clean. Okay, now we're gonna come back in here and sort of make a few little brighter areas, a little darker areas. Again, just doing the same thing. We have a couple little areas poke out to the side. Who knows? Literally. We make it look however we want to make it look. Remember, it's all up to us every time that we do it. So get out there, we'll start mixing it up all over again. That's all you gotta do. Mix and push, mix and push, and see how your clouds start looking, right? And then when you know that you want to be finished, you're like, okay, my clouds are done. Then just stop your mixing. Just like that, you got a cool little cloud out there just from mixing up a little mush of paint, you guys, literally. Soft little thing out there. So gentle, so soft. Skirt it underneath our cloud over here, just taking the smallest bit of that color right underneath our moon. Oh, it's fantastic. Now, let's get out here. We're gonna pull down with our palette scrapey tool, right? Just like we're wiping it off. We're trying to remove the paint from there, right? We're gonna come in here, scrape up a little bit, and across the side, and then you get your little roll out there. Now we wanna drop down just a small amount. Get out here, start scrubbing it back and forth. Not everywhere has to be the most perfectest of places, as we all know, right? Doesn't have to be so bright everywhere. Doesn't have to be so dark everywhere, vice versa, right? We are deciding what we want it to look. Now, along that same little line, we're gonna get out here and literally go straight across our horizon line, just like that. Little bit right at the top. Same flat line that we were on back here, all the way across, okay? But on this guy, we're gonna take it and just pull down, almost vertical, just the smallest little drag over with our little palette scrapey tool. And we'll pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. Just trying to keep that straight line onto the top. does not have to be the same amount of paint, does not have to be so bright everywhere, or vice versa, so dark everywhere. We get to pick what it looks like. And all it is rolling over. The only thing really connecting it is one little skinny little line right there. And all of that stuff is going to be hidden by our splashy, crashy foam anyway, right? Now, we have not touched one single bit of our liquid white just yet. And we're not going to do it still. We're going to come back in here and grab our titanium white right onto the brush, turn the brush this, and then contact. Bang, 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 bang. Right underneath, leaving a little bit of stuff, right? Not everything has to be the same. Maybe it climbs up a little higher over here as it's splashing down, right? You can also take that same brush right back into that white pile, come in here and turn it on the side if you want it a bit brighter or a bit more weird and odd shaped, and especially as you get up to that top corner, again, just going right back into the white, right up here, little things, little things, little things. We don't want to get rid of too much that's happening up there. After you get this soft, flowing S-shaped curves. Very soft little guy. Okay, now I'm going to come back in and very lightly mix up. So soft, guys, seriously. Because even with the titanium white, it's going to want to grow and extend and move, right? And all we need it to be is just out there a little bit, a little softer than everything else back there, right? All you got to do, and we don't need too much. Now, we got a little backdrop. If we get a little bit of our liquid white and come back in with our titanium, and we come back over here and we start smacking against it, keeping it real soft, real small. We don't need to see all the crazy details everywhere, right? A couple little things. Back in, mix it down again, so soft, just like you barely even touched it at all, okay? Now we're gonna take a little bit of that liquid white as well, and grab up a good chunk of it right up here into our titanium white and mix down a little of that titanium white into our liquid white. Right, makes it kind of runny, but not runny enough to drip anymore, okay? Now this guy, let's cut him back, cut him back, cut him back. Everything else below we can get rid of, right? We're gonna cut it back up to here, side to side, and then we're gonna start dropping down, dropping down, dropping down, getting a little lower, right? Not much lower, and I'll show you with the edge of the brush right here, right? We're very straight, and then all of a sudden it starts dipping down, and it's gonna get lower and lower and lower as it goes away. That's that liquidy white paint with a touch of titanium white, little bits, right? Just drop it down. That way we're starting at a higher point, we're ending at a lower point. That will help make it look more rounded, okay? Now we're gonna get a clean, dry brush this time. Before we do that, in fact, let's take that brush that we have all of our white in, and let's just make the smallest little indication of an eye back there. Just a little eye in our wave. And it all depends on how bright you want it to be. This, that, and the other. It's all up to you. Let's get in here with the Paint with Josh 1-inch brush because it's nice and thin. We can get in there and make us certain shapes. Now remember, we don't want our eye of the wave to come all the way down into the bottom because we're going to take that clean, dry, much smaller fan brush and going to grip whatever paint is here and just start pulling it back. Each time that we do it, our brush is going to pick up a little bit more paint, so we should be able to drag it further as we're going back this way. Very small inside here. You don't even really need to add any little bits of anything. We're trying to keep it nice and dark, not fill up every space, right? Not every place has to have so much color, which is why we're just using the color that's up here already. Flinging it backwards. If we need some brighter areas or some darker areas, we can do whatever we want to do, okay? Maybe we take a little bit off the top here and just start to drag a couple little things, right? Just bare, there's no paint on the brush except for what's up there on the canvas. Couple little pieces start falling off, maybe. Make it a little bit brighter. Drop off a couple more little bits, right? Now, obviously, we don't want our top water to just be rolling in the entire way exactly the same. So we get to decide as we come back in here, leaving those deeper, darker areas of our ocean that are hard to see into. Way back there, you can even come in here with a smaller brush. Just smack on a couple more little bit. There we go. Little bits of splashers, maybe come up over our horizon. Whatever you want to do. Totally up to you guys. Each time that you do it, smaller and smaller and smaller. Over there. Start falling, you start crashing, but we're going to leave that little space in there. You have to have a little guy, just a little old doer in there for you, because it's really going to help. Start making this guy. Kind of roll down, feed it off the back, and that way it's kind of breaking up as it's rolling over. And then we can decide, because that looks pretty cool, what if we came up here and we had a few little odd bits, so it's not just a perfect straight line, right? And it starts crashing a little bit. You're up over there, just little things though. Little guys, little taps, little touches of color, so we don't add too much, right? Because we can always go back and add more. Can't take it away once it's up there, right? There we go. Roll that guy down. We're not trying to add too much paint to our canvas, remember. Just have it roll over like that. It's very cool. Now I'm gonna go back and wipe off all that paint off my brush and just try to blend this guy with just the edge of the fan brush out here. Very soft, very soft, very soft. Just to make it look broken, right? That's all you wanna do. Out there, crashing down. Okay, now let's underneath take all of our brightness and make some kind of sandy, reflective area. And I'm gonna ask you multiple times whether or not what we're about to do is going to look like sand. It's in fact, I'm gonna ask you 3 times. So if you could just be so kind as to answer me these 3 times. That's all I need you to do. 3 comments from you. Not one after another, but one after another. You know what I mean? We're gonna take our 10% of our liquid white based off the size of our pile. So you judge the size of your pile, you go, okay, that's 90%. Just need 10% liquid white to make it not so runny anymore. We'll come in here and we'll scrape up a little bit, grab it right onto the edge, and then come out and start depositing. Little bits, little bits, little bits, right? The more that you put out here, trying to get as close as possible to our little guy, right? Just mushing it on very lightly. The more that you have on there, the more will drop off, right? Same thing goes for when you have it very first onto your little palette scrapey tool, and you're dropping it off for the very first time. It's gonna be very bright, which is why we choose underneath our moon for that first depositation. Now, underneath here, we can literally get rid of that excess splash that was maybe a bit too big. Maybe our brush overgrew a little. And all we need to do is leave a little dark what in between this bright color and this bright color. What is in between those two guys? Right, I see a white line right there, but what do I also see that maybe not there to even be seen, right? What do you see when you're out there? When you're doing your little guy, right? And you can see we started up higher and we've worked ourselves lower and lower and lower and lower from way up here to way down here, right? What else is out there? I'm about to ask you, Dorico, a little dark separator. Someone say the Dark Lord Vader. That's funny. Down in here, come in there, mix it down, pull it down. Now, I'm gonna ask you one time. Here's your first question that you have to answer for me. Does this look like wet sandy beach? Yes or no? Does that right there look like some wet sandy beach? You tell me, and then we'll get the old 2-inch brush out, the old Paint with Josh 2-inch. We'll get this guy ready. Get it ready. Bang, right? Does that look like wet sandy beach, yes or no? No, not yet. Okay, I feel you. No, but it will, they say. Right, so let's come in here with our Paint with Josh 2-inch because it's very thin compared to the Bob Ross one. We're gonna come in here and start pulling down. Now, because the Paint with Josh 2-inch is a thinner brush, we may have to push and pull more on it than we would the Bob Ross brush. But we're gonna get closer up to our little guy without having to hit that water, right? Now I'm gonna ask you again, does this look like wet sandy beach? Yes or no answers only. This is the second time, and then I'm gonna ask you one more time after this, you guys. Does that look like wet, sandy beach? Yes, no, maybe so. No way, says Cosmic. We got no? All you guys think no? Man, I better hang it up then, huh? Right, okay. This is your final thing, your final step. Taking that paint and sliding it sideways and away from our wave without touching that top bit. Now, does that look more like wet, sandy, shiny beach? Right? What do you think? Take away all these vertical streaks and it will. Come on, Josh. You really push hard on that guy and it'll take them all away. Mixing all that color in with the colors below. Got it. Now it looks like some wet, sandy beach, right? But we have this odd separation right here. This little separator. I'm gonna get a little bit tight, just a touch more right here. Just to make this guy kind of feed in there. Just in there. Just to have a little bit of difference. So it's not just all of a sudden coming out of nowhere. And we can take it along our top edge, kind of skirt it however we want it to be, pulling it off in a different direction, changing whatever wave shape that we have, adding little bits, sliding down. Little things, guys. We can do it, right? It's all up to us. Now, this is about the only, actually, we're about to do our foamy retraction area is what I call it. Does anybody know what it's really called? Like, what is this area called right down here where the waves come in, they stop, they deposit a line of sea foam, and then they get sucked back. Is anybody a scientist out there? Well, I call it the foamy retraction area, but I'm sure that's incorrect. Okay, before we do anything though, we need to come in here, grab a little bit of our liquid white and our titanium white, and make this shadow a bit smaller. Okay, so we'll grab it in here, we'll just start skirting it back and forth on our little palette scrapey tool, right? Dropping it down, making it a little smaller. The smaller it is, especially in the distance, the further away it's going to look, right? Especially way over there. And as we get in here, we get to judge and base it off of our own idea. What do we think it should look like, right? It doesn't all have to have a shadow. Some areas can come down, kind of kiss the sand, get a little smoochy poo, right? But they don't all have to. And it doesn't all have to be the same size either. We're judging what we want it to look like based off of how we like to paint it, right? If you can, get any little doers just to straight back off the back side of our little tool. And carry on upwards. Right? You'll have a couple little bits of things that are kind of feeding up into that dark area. Doesn't all have to be the same, so don't worry. But now we've got a much smaller little shadow under there. Makes it look a little bit more realistic, to me anyway, just to me. Now we're gonna come in here, we're gonna use the rest of this. Did anybody answer my question, by the way? Is there a scientist out there? The tide, I could call it the tide, I guess. But the tide is the whole thing. That's whether it's close or far away, right? But we're talking about this little area right here where the foam comes and gets stuck. It is literally crazy little section that gets stuck out there. We need more liquid white than anything else, if not just pure liquid white. Right? And we can scrape it down, only focusing on what our front or bottom edge looks like. Right? If we're only looking at our bottom edge, because everything else is going to be taken backwards, right? Then you don't focus so much. You're not trying to make it so perfect, because all we're really looking at is this bottom line over here. Does it have a little ridge on it? Does it look like a little bit of water to you? Because that's all that matters. You're the one out there painting it. You're the one making all the decisions out there. Okay? Now, that's really cool looking. Our last little step right here is to take and retract all of this sand, right? Or all this water feeding back. So we use that same paint that's out there, just a little old fan brush, and we just take it horizontally, not trying to add any bends or any bobs or any dips or whatever. Just pulling it off straight over to the side, whatever you can get, right? Whatever you grab. It doesn't all have to be the same. Doesn't all have to look perfect. But just like that, you get that, and then it drops it off. Starts feeding itself backwards. Now, how bright is your sand, right? Is your sand bright enough to where you can tell, like mine is right there, and you see that little bit of that glow right there? Or do you want it to be brighter? Do you want it to be darker? A lot of the times, I find myself making it too bright, right? And so, on this guy, we're not gonna go crazy. I am gonna add a few more little bits over here just to help extend my foamy mist over to the side. You can again grab it, push on it a little harder, drag it a little further over there, like filling up some more space, knowing that we're gonna have a big old palm tree come down into that mist, into this cloud, and all right, I like my sand the way it looks down here. I like this. All right, I like my sand the way it looks down here. I like this lone cloud off in the night. Let's sprinkle in a couple little stars, or you can do a whole nother bit of cloud back here. All depends on what you want it to look like, right? I kind of like it like this. It's very dark and mysterious back there. So here's how we sprinkle in stars, okay? We're gonna take our palette. If you don't have a palette, you can use a paper plate or the edge of your palette scrapey tool or whatever, right? And all we do is a little paint on the brush, a little paint on the edge of the palette. We push through it like this, which is gonna bend our bristles backwards and launch them at the canvas. And you get these few little stars out into your sky. Now the best part about these stars is, where are we at over here? There we go. Is you can wipe them away if they get into your clouds. Because they're just liquid white, you just go blend over it a little bit again, and all of a sudden your cloud is back to a cloud with no stars in front of it. That's really cool back there. Okay, now let's mix up just a little touch of our, you know what, we'll do the same thing down here in our sand. Gotta have some sprinkles in the sand, right? And if you get them into your water, it's okay. We're gonna come back here into this spot anyway. But just a few. They end up looking like little specks of light or seashells or something. Oh, it was my apartment complex that called. Fabulous. Thanks, guys. I mean, I do thank you for putting the new lock on my garage. I appreciate that. But also, did it have to be right this second? Let's get in here very close. I'm gonna pop in just a couple little spray bits into my kind of spray thing. And it's all up to us. Whatever we wanna do with it, we can do. We wanna make it brighter, we wanna make it darker, you wanna have less, you wanna have more. It's all up to you each time. Each time. Now, actually I'm gonna switch over to this little guy. And then we're gonna see what we can do backwards this way. Because I always like these right here, right? We're gonna use our palette, or our palette scrapey tool. We're gonna start flicking things above. There we go, it's working. It's working. Right, get all those little guys, and they all look like they're going this direction. That's the best part about them. Now, is this back here, are those stars, or are they watery spray? That's up to your brain to decide. Right? And your brain is different than everybody else's brain, and so everybody else will see something differently. Toss there, just a few little sprinkles coming off the tip top, which is why we don't have to paint the whole bit of splash, because we're going to, there we go, there. We're gonna spray over a lot of it anyway, right? So nothing really matters back there. Nothing really matters. Everybody over on YouTube, is it still working? Big old tree down the center. Not down the center, but we are gonna put a big old tree on there. We're gonna put a big old palm tree out here in the night. Now, in order to do that though, we need to mix up something dark enough to stand out against this light color of our cloud. So, let's grab some of our dark color mix that we like to use, which is a 3-color mix that we call Paint with Josh Black. It's really deep, it's really dark, and it stands out as this purple black color against all the bright white and different colors that have lit up onto our scene over here. Now, maybe we only do one, because maybe we only have space enough for one, but Let's wiggle down. Let's see. We're gonna load our brush up like this. Wiggling it down, then we're gonna decide. Now we've got space enough for two. Let's plop in just a little spider over here. Doesn't even have to be anything more than a little blob. I'm serious. Where's my brush? Hello. Oh, there we go. Hello. I am so super cereal. There is no green. Guys, we can't make a palm tree. You know what? We could do it with just these colors instead, Josh. And then it'll be a limited palette little palm tree. Let's use our phthalo green instead. A little bit of our phthalo green, a little bit of our liquid white. Just enough to get it to deposit. And then we just want to be weird. Just make like just a little burst, little thing of color. It's all you need. That one little bit, right? That is going to stand out to someone's eye as looking like a little faraway palm tree with lots of stuff on it, okay? Now we're gonna take our little trunk, just toss him out the back side. No one might ever not even see the trunk, okay? They really might not, unless you give it just a little touch of highlight. Where did the thing go? I can't even see it. There, a little bit, a little touch, okay? Little thing. And too much white up here is gonna be way too bright. There. Oh, it's got like a purple trunk, you guys. That is so cool. Just a little thing though. Don't need to have too much. Now, this one has to be much bigger and much chunkier, and maybe it goes off the top of our canvas and hangs down. Maybe not. Maybe we sit right there and we then just make like a little spider shape in the middle, about as big as the brush, maybe 1.5 brushes on either side. Just this big gross thing. Do you see it? Do you see? Let's see, right? All we need, we're gonna come out here. We may need to make up a bigger pile of paint in order to have enough on here for it to stand out. Well, what I like to do first is kind of make an arc out this way, just tapping it in. And then we're going to drag on this guy, and then drag less and less and less, so he's thicker at the front, thinner way out at the end, okay? Same thing, grab the brush, forget this tree even exists, roll back over, right? Grab it, flick it, grab it, flick it, in front of our faraway tree already. Now we already have some depth just with this guy right here. What we need to do now is create some more of this paint right here, because that's just not enough. So we'll take a bit more of our crimson, black, and blue, mix them up together. You want it to be dark. We can also grab some of our phthalo green. That'll help us when we go to highlight that guy. All right, so we got a lot of phthalo green in there, big old chunk. I think I can see a big old chunk of skin too. You can see the color change when I scrape up the palette. You get that turquoise looking color in there. That's what you wanna have. It's gonna be very dark against all this color and stand out. And then when we go to highlight it, it's going to be more easily highlightable than anything else. We'll come in here, mixing it up, mixing it up. What do we think? We gotta have one come out the top. We're not gonna see a lot of it, but we have to have something come out that way. And then something in between it, right? It doesn't all have to be just full-grown length palm fronds, right? Sometimes you get a couple little bits that aren't grown out all the way yet. Some that are bigger, some that are smaller. Let's drop one out that way, okay? Whip it down, whip it down, whip it down. Choo, 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 choo. Right? It's looking like a pretty cool palm tree to me. What I'm gonna do is come in here very thinly, and a lot of pressure, cut through that other palm tree leaf. All right, so now we got 2 bits of depth pushing that guy back with our trunk and our guy. Now, we can decide one more time. Do we wanna have one come out this way? Should we roll it out this way, or should we just leave it exactly how it is with 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a bit over there? Maybe we'd have a couple little danglers kind of hanging down on the front side. Maybe something that came out of that guy. Just a little, right? We don't have to overfill everything. It doesn't all have to be supremely crazy, right? Now all we need to do is go back and highlight this little beauty with some of our liquid white and our little turquoise color, and we'll have a finished painting. So you guys need to start coming up with a title for this painting, right? You are in control, especially if you purchase the painting during the live show. You get to tell us what to call it forever. It becomes yours, and you get to pick. Cheeseburger in Paradise, or whatever that song is, whatever you think, right? A couple little taps of our little phthalo-y green color on the tip top. And then we're gonna tap out the edge. If we still have any paint that's usable, right? Every time we touch it, it takes that paint and makes it very dark on the end. So we need more liquid white, more of our highlight color. Mix it down there, mix it down. Very light little taps along the edge, and then very, very light little draggy marks across it, right? Very light. You don't want to overdo. You don't want to make it too bright. You don't want to over cover too much. There, right out there. Right? Come down, tap it in. The more liquid white that you have, the easier it's going to deposit off and stick to our little palm tree. Look at that, guys. Look at it. Would you just look at that over there? Right, a little bit more of our phthalo-y green, a little bit more of our liquidy white. Come over here, tap onto this guy, and say goodnight. No, just try to make something rhyme. I don't know. Didn't really work. There we go. Okay, a little bit more of our liquid white. Come back in here until it's very soppy wet. Comes off the brush easily. Right, maybe we have a couple little doers out there that we don't really touch. And we got this one big guy that's on the back side over here. And we can grab just very slightly. Little things, right? Little bits. Oh, he's gorgeous. He is gorge. We can even come in and add little doers that hang off of some of these big guys, especially out towards the end. Little bits in there. A couple little hits in there. And now we've got this dark space in the center that you really just go back in and just kind of not overfill, but just put a bit of color in there is all you really got to do. That's really it. That's really, really it, guys. Now, let's take a little touch again of our, we used our titanium white. Maybe it had a little bit of liquid white in it too. Just a little touch. We're going to kind of tap along the edge. Doesn't have to be the most perfectest of taps, because we're going to go back and kind of blend that guy out just so we can see his trunk a little. All right, we go back over it, same thing, just kind of mushing it. We only need the color to be a little brighter is all. So you get your mush, take that real bit of brightness and just keep going over it again until it's gone. Very simple. Very simply done, you guys. I like it. I like it. Hey, it looks like the painting might have found a new home, you guys. That's cool, man. That's cool. So, who got it, and what are you going to channel it? Because it's totally up to you. Now, I'm going to have to look up who it was. Oh, I got it. Okay, perfect. I know who it was. Lavender Luminescent Night. I like that. It looks like, if you can just confirm the zip code for me. Just confirm the zip code for me, the person who grabbed it, right? Not the whole zip code, just the last two. Last two digits. Man, that's way cool. That is way cool. Yeah, that's it. Honeybees. Right there. Did you know? What are we titling this one again? Lavender Luminescent Night. You guys better re-pin that, because I'm not sure that this, non-spellman cannot spell luminescent. But thank you. I appreciate you, honeybees. And I was saying, did you know, I just posted earlier, I had never seen this before, because I'm from Las Vegas. We don't really get a lot of bugs or anything, because it's just too hot, right? And so when we moved up here to Eugene, I've seen many, many, many more bugs than I thought existed. And today I saw an entire swarm of bees, literally swarming, flying around, and then they found a bush, and then they all collected together and made their little hive. And I posted a video of it on my TikTok. You guys should check it out. But yeah, I'd never seen that before. I was blown away at how quickly they could all condense, and it was like 5 minutes, and they were back onto this thing and gone. It was nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. So let's add our signature to this guy. I couldn't believe how quickly they kind of locked in, as Tyler says all the time. Quickly they locked in and made a little hive, and apparently it's that time of the season. I don't know. I'm still kind of new. We've been here a year, but I'm still kind of new here. I don't know all this stuff about Oregon yet. Now in Las Vegas, I'm sure it's over 100 degrees by now, and they're not having the most fun because that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm used to anyway. Okay, let's keep that thing title for the pin. Let's keep the title pinned. Let's try to learn how to speak, and then we'll keep the title pinned over there. And it's gonna be wicked awesome. I can't wait to see your guys' version of this on YouTube as well. Literally cannot wait to see what you guys do with your little pigs and then your palm trees, because we're getting so much better at painting these palm trees, you guys. And if you're afraid of palm trees, do it. Try one. Make it happen, because the more that you do it, the more confident you'll get at doing it. This one's 1816. What are we calling it again? Lavender Luminescent Night. Okay, let's go for this. Lavender I can do. Luminescent I can do. It's the night part that gives me a hard time. What is that again? Okay, N-I-G-H-T, right. N-I-T-E, perfect. Oh, I missed, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, this one was painted on 4/24 of 2024, and we're all gonna go, that's a lot of fours right there. We're all gonna go to paintwithjosh.com, because there's more than just paintings over there. You guys can find classes, group classes, virtual group classes, all sorts of stuff, guys. Lots of fours. I didn't even realize in today's date how many fours there were. That's a lot of fours, man. Whew. Okay. You guys. Thank you, Con. Luminescent. That's how it's spelled. Okay, I was saying it wrong this whole time. Oh, you guys are funny. Let's see. No, I'm just playing around with you. It's all right. I came in late. Looks amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a very small little crasher. You know what I mean? Where our focus is right in here, and our final little touch before we end the YouTube stream should be just a few little bits of just bright white way back there. Maybe a little bit brighter, a little bit wider, not whiter, but wider as they get closer. A little sparkle on the back. The sparkle on the backside back there. Spread it out. Bang, boom. Got yourself a little bit of moonlit light back there, which lines up with this bright spot right here. Very cool. Very cool, guys. I like it, I like it, I like it. Bang, bang, boom. Thank you for everything, literally. Okay, you guys, over on YouTube, I love you. We're going to throw the old JK down here, because you can't be sending it out, Josh, without the old JK, right? I mean, everybody knows whose painting it was just based off of the birds in the sky, but you're going to throw the old Inish. The old Inish on there. Looking cool. Looking way cool. So, Honeybee, thank you so much. All the guys watching over on YouTube, I love you guys. I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. However you want your colors to be spread out, however you want your clouds to look. You just gotta have a little bit of light back there so our tree can stand out, right? Nothing really else beyond that. There is no real rule beyond have some light up in the sky if you're gonna put something in the foreground. That's pretty much it. Other than that, you guys are free to roam and do all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna take this guy. There. Horizon wasn't so straight. Now it is. Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So everybody over on YouTube, can't wait to see it. Send it in or post it to any one of my Facebook posts or anywhere that you can for me to see it. And beyond that, you guys have been amazing. Take care. Have a good day. And bye. I'm very curious.